Yo, we rolling deep with the Jets on the a team full of dreams under these bright skies. The world is our stage, we ain't gonna hide. Green and white till we die. Jets worldwide, wide. Johnny Boy and Snowball in the zone. Yo, we're family here, never alone. Jets worldwide, this is where we shine. A true dedication, victory's our sign. Green and white forever, we in our prime. You know we gon' rise, just give it some time. 2025, hear the crowd going wild. You know we spitting truth, nothing but style. A city that never sleeps, we going buck wild. Our hearts beat as one. Jets worldwide, wide. Victory's a feeling, we won't let go.
I love that intro. I
love it.
I want it to be shorter, and I want the outro to be shorter, because I don't know.
It just gets you like all involved. They get you ready. It is Friday. We all got paid, but we got bills to pay. We got a really special guest on here tonight. I went ahead and I put the link for his show. Guys, if first and foremost, if you guys have not been to his show, where are you? What are you doing? He is having a show after this show tonight to be able to show you guys how to do it when watching a game with the New York Jets. Myself, Snowball, we've been wanting to have him on for a while now, but with everything going on, my man does work. We all grown-ups. I work, so it's never been happening. But he was one of the original cats on our first episode that we ever had at Jets Worldwide. Wide. He was one of the first guys, and he's been, helping us, rocking with us since the jump. Snowball, how are you?
It's time. You know what? I'm faking it until I make it. So I look as though I'm having a great day, but I am internally crushed. But that's a story for another day. A lot of heavy lifting yesterday, and not at the gym. So, anyway. I'm ready to just start the show. Let's bring him in. I love this guy. His name is Nick Shine. Let's just bring him in.
What's up, boys? How are you?
Unleash him. Good. We're doing well.
Nick, it's been we've been wanting to get you on the show for a long time. I mean, myself and Snowball, we watch your show religiously. You already know that. But we're so excited to have you on this side of it. Because, you're the one that's always doing your thing, rocking and rolling and all of that. But, as everybody in the chat is calling you Big Nick Energy, so you know what time it is. But I am thrilled and excited to have you on the show tonight.
Yeah, man. I'm glad it worked out. I have a vacation day today. For those of you who don't know, I work 2:30 to 11, so it's impossible for me to get on here normally with these guys. But Johnny and I were in my Discord, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, you have anyone on Friday? It was yesterday, right? I was like, do you have anyone tomorrow? He's like, no. I'm like, I can do it. He's like, oh, shit, hold on. Message Snowball. He's like, all right, we're good. So, yeah, man, happy to be here. I think it was August 4th last year was the debut on a Sunday morning, if I remember correctly.
That is completely right.
Congrats, man, to you guys. Keep grinding.
Wow. And let me ask you this. Do you remember the original Jets Worldwide champion? Can you name him?
Wasn't it her?
Nope.
What? The original
Leany didn't win? I thought Leany won the first one.
No, the match game champion, our first ever match game champion.
Was it Addison?
It was Addy.
It was Addison. Yep.
So
Addy was our first champ, and he used to come on. He would wear a dress shirt.
Yep.
Yes.
And a tie.
Yes. At like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right. LA time, right? He's up and he's all dressed up and stuff, and he's combing his hair.
Nice.
Listen, we got a game tonight. Just wanted to talk about the game. Oh, Johnny, you wanted to start with something.
Yeah.
Right?
So big shout out to everybody that's in the chat. Please make sure you guys hit the like and hit the sub button as well.
Look at how many
Also, I
people
did
here.
pin Nick's channel on here, so make sure you guys going over there as well
Oh,
right
yes,
after the
sweetheart.
show because he's rocking right after the show tonight. But these guys are some real OGs in the sense of being Jet fans, right? When I saw this piece of this episode, we were there and we actually had Nick on the phone because Nick was doing his thing about the green and white scrimmage. I want to put up this clip really quickly and I want to ask you, what does this mean to you, Snowball, and to you, Nick, when you hear this from our fearless leader in Aaron Glenn? So we're going to play this for you guys and everybody chime in too in the chat.
Am I putting it on or are you putting it on?
I got it. You ready?
Look at
All
you.
right. You got to press play though, because I can't do it.
I'm pressing play because it's on my computer. Here we go.
I'll be a little vulnerable with y'all right now. It's the first time since me being hired, I feel like I'm the head coach, man. The first time. Hearing the fans, the JTS, the team that drafted me. I love every one of you guys, man. It hit me today.
Yeah.
It hit me. Go, man.
So all I'm saying is, let's just finish with a lead amount of.
So you hear that? Shout out to Jay Quest, because Quest was the guy that rounded the troops to be like, hey, let's do the chant. He heard us, and then he says this. So Nick and Snowball, you hear this from Aaron Glenn. I wanted to get your guys' thoughts when you see a guy really get emotional like that with his players, and he's the leader of the actual organization now. So I'll start it off with Nick. Nick, your thoughts?
It's got to be humbling, right? Like, how many people get to say that in 31 years ago, 94, he was drafted by the Jets, first round pick, goes on to make multiple Pro Bowls with the team, then starts as a scout, and then starts as an assistant, and then works his way up to coordinator, and then his first head coaching job is with this team. It's more than a football moment. It's a life moment, right? And I think that's what's hitting him. It's like it's come full circle for him, like to hopefully finish where he started, and hopefully this is the only job he ever needs as a head coach, and then one day he retires of old age, and we never have to worry about him going anywhere else. Like, it's got to be, like, say whatever profession you're in, right? Like, you start off at school, and then you go back there, and maybe 25 years later, you're the principal of that school. You know what I mean? Like, to start at the bottom and then end up being like the top dog at where your first job was is it's incredible, right? Like, and as Jets fans, we're always the ugly girl at the dance. We're always the team and the fans getting mocked. It feels good to have, like, Rex wanted this job, right? He made that clear. Aaron Glenn made that clear. He wanted this job. So I think he's really made that connection with the fans already. And I'm happy for him because he's one of us, right? He's one of our own. He's the guy that we had the jersey. He's the guy that we cheered when he got interceptions. He's the guy that, had remarkable plays as a Jet. And now to go on the sideline, it's why you're happy for the guy, right? Like, I can't put any more words together for it. It's just, you're happy for him as a person. You're happy for him as a former player, former scout, former coordinator, and now the head coach of the New York Jets. Like, it's incredible to get there.
Agreed, 100%. I mean, I think myself seeing that clip, you can't help but to be like, damn, he really means it when he stated before, even though I was coaching somewhere, I was always looking at the Jets. Like, that's where my heart has always been. And I don't even think that was like I'm a act type of thing, right? I don't even think he knew that was gonna be put in for that. My take, at least from what I saw. But Snowball, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know if you're into numerology, but I mean, what number did Aaron Glenn wear, right? And that 31 years later, he becomes the head coach. So, kind of weird. Um, to tell you the truth, and you were in the same shoes I was, Johnny boy. You know, like I wasn't the biggest Aaron Glenn fan when it came to him becoming the head coach. Right? There were others ahead of him that I wanted to be our head coach. After hearing him speak at the podium, and I mean when he was introduced as the head coach of the Jets, I I had my reservations. I was like, is it an act, right? Because it didn't seem like it was genuine. But now he's been so consistent throughout everything that he's presented to the media and to the fans. Um, I'm in, right? I've bought in to the Aaron Glenn era of him becoming our. I loved him as a player, but I was not completely sold on him being the head coach. And then hearing him say what he has said, and that clip that we just played, it's heartwarming to it is a homecoming for him, and I'm on board with what he has shown so far. He's got the right attitude. He's saying the right things. The thing that we're all waiting for is the results, right? What can he do? And that's the unknown for all of us. So, we said, and Nick said it, right? He's one of us, and he is one of us. And shameless plug, if you're watching this right now, first of all, hit the like. Secondly, hit the subscribe button. But other than that, also, right here is jetsworldwide.printify.me. And if you go on there, there's an Aaron Glenn t-shirt that we have. And it actually says one of us on it. So go there. But to get back to my point, right? He is one of us. And it's great to see him with us. We're just waiting for the results. And I'm not saying that we need to have, a Super Bowl season, but if he changes the culture of this team the way he has changed the minds of many, I would assume, then we're on our way. So I am encouraged by him being emotional when he heard uh, all of us, you and me, and Jake West, and everyone who was there that day.
Nate, Jake,
Right?
Tom Ace. I mean, all the guys that were rocking with us there. Riley, she was there saying the chant.
Right?
It's that. I mean, we even had Nick on there because we were all messing with Nick because Nick was live during that stuff. So it was cool to see him really embrace something like that. And that's why I wanted to ask both of you guys, because you guys have been around to see him be really. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like anything or no disrespect or anything like that at all, but I was a lot, I was young when he got drafted, right? So I don't really remember it as much as both of you guys to be able to see that. And then to see him just be the head coach, be that guy right now that is literally saying, I'm putting everything into this. And it feels great. But let's get into this because I know my man Nick is going to be rocking on his show tonight. Nick,
Yes,
I don't know if anybody yet, if you guys have not watched when he does an actual viewing of his show. The reason why I really like the way he does it is because he'll break down a actual play. He'll give the X and O's that goes to that play that you really don't hear. And this is no shade to anybody else that's out there doing what, watching the show watching the game at the same time or whatever, right? But I really, really, really like that, So with that being said, I want to ask you this. Well, tonight we're playing against the Eagles, and it's the last preseason game of the season for us. I want to ask you, what are you anticipating tonight that the Jets are going to do? And then I'm going to ask you a series of players where cut or they stay and why. So, Nick, the floor is yours, my good sir.
When I'm looking at this game tonight, right, we know the starters aren't playing. It tells you a lot with who plays a lot, right? Who do they start tonight? Are they showcasing? Are they want to get one last look at this guy in a little bit of extended time because you don't have the starters playing? You have more opportunities. So are you showcasing a guy? And we won't know until Wednesday, right, what that answer is. But do you give guys the opportunity to succeed tonight? Are you showcasing them because you maybe have that position room already decided and you hopefully maybe you get an offer before cut down day? So just, who plays and who doesn't. That will tell you the value of the players. There might be some surprises that don't play. Even though they're not starters, they're part of a rotation. So, defensive line, secondary, who are the guys not out there tonight? And the second half gets there. Very, very few of these guys will be on the team. Maybe one or two.
So, Nick, can I ask
Wednesday.
you a question? Nick, can I ask you a question? Like, who would be a surprise? Like, he's not a starter, but he's also not on the field. Who would be a surprise?
Myers, I think. If you don't start Myers, because Myers to me is the sixth man on the offensive line, do you kind of just say, all right, you're good tonight. We don't want you out there because of your value to the roster, where I believe if a tackle goes down, AVT shifts out, Titten the guard, Myers center. A guard goes down. Obviously, we've seen it already with Simpson. Myers is your sixth man, so his value. Defensive line guys, there's a lot of questions with defensive tackle now, right? After the two trades that we made. Okay, who plays, who doesn't?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. Are you showcasing Leonard Taylor III? Or is he good? Is he good? Like, did he make it? Yeah, well, Coward's should be pumped, right? But he's still out. You got Quinnen and Coward, who I think are locks. You got the two guys, Briggs and Phillips, that we just traded for. Do you keep a fifth? Is it another run guy? Is it LT? Is it JT? Who do you keep at DT? Cool. So I'm very curious. You shouldn't see Carter, Sauce, Stevens. Jamin Davis had some runs when we started the Packers game. We were 3 linebacker sets. He was out there. Do you arrest a guy like that? You're probably going to not start Taylor because he's your tight end one. Does Beck play? I'm very curious to see how many role player guys that could flex in with the starters actually sit and actually play.
Yeah.
So that's a great segue into what I wanted to go ahead and start to ask you. So let's just start it with, do you want to go on defense or do you want to go on offense?
You always end with the best. We'll start with offense. I'm a defensive guy. So
all right.
Always end on a good note. Our offense has too many questions. The defense I'm comfortable with. What do you got?
All right. So I think everybody's like kind of tripping out right now with the whole Tyrod, but Tyrod's, I don't know if anybody saw, he was walking with Justin Fields into the stadium today and he looked fine. Thank God. But I think QB3, right? And I know it's stupid to talk about it and anything, because if we're at QB3 into the season, something went horribly wrong and what the hell's happening? But who stays? Is it Martinez or is it Cook in your eyes?
I think, wow, that's a really tough one, because I think everything I've seen, people believe there's something there with Cook long term. But I think short term, if you have to get to QB3 right now, September, if you have to play a guy, you'd rather play Martinez. He seems to have a better command. So that's the ultimate question. Do you trust you won't have to get to QB3? And do you put a guy like Cook out there and risk the chance of losing a quarterback? Or do you go with Martinez? So I'm very curious how they do the roster gymnastics and how it comes about. But for me, I think you go Martinez. I think that with two quarterbacks who are known to get injury prone, and this isn't me, this is what I think the Jets will do. I think Martinez makes the roster, and then they use him, sparingly, or if not at all, right?
So first half is Martinez, second half is Cook.
Probably.
Probably
that's
tonight,
what we
right?
got,
Yeah.
I did want to say something that you said the other day on your show, on the morning show, which I appreciate, by the way, because when I'm working, I can hear it, and it's awesome. He has a really good voice, from what people keep telling Nick. That you do not care who, like, you don't want to make a 53 roster.
Yeah, I don't give a
right?
shit.
Like you don't care about, and I'm on the same boat with that. I want the guys that are going to make this team better.
Yeah.
And I'm right on board with you. Slobo, do you feel the same, or do you think that you would want to do a
No.
53?
I'm wrong more than I'm right anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm just good, and that's healthy, right? That's healthy to be wrong, right? I think I don't want to be right. When it comes to stuff like this, I don't want to be right because I don't care, right? I want the professionals. I want the coaches to make the decisions. That's it, and then we'll take it from there, right? Yeah, exactly.
So we're gonna stick on the offense really quickly, and I'm gonna talk about the tight end room. Let's talk about it. He's the guy that, a lot of our fan base is. He's a Long Island kid.
Cut him.
Jeremy Ruckert.
Wow.
Does he stay or cut? All right. Well,
cut him. What's he done to stay?
100%.
I don't think Aaron Glenn is living in white fluffy clouds and marshmallows in the sky and sprinkles on everything. No, you haven't done anything to deserve to stay here. The story's over. It was a nice story. End of the book. He's done nothing to deserve to be here, in my opinion. Now, if they keep him, I'm wrong, but that's what have you done to stay? I don't think that they're going to do it. I think I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I really believe Beck is going to be tight end 2/fullback.
Okay.
I do. I that's how I would utilize him. You saw it in the Packers game. The pass he caught was out of the tight end slot. Like he motioned over, and then they got him up. I don't forget if he motioned or if he just lined up there. But he lined up in that tight set and got upfield for a pass. When was the last time you saw Rucker do that? Even on the preseason game, when did Rucker ever do that? Like already after one play, he bumped up ahead of tight end, and he's a fullback.
100%. When we were at the green and white scrimmage, we saw Smart being utilized a lot more over Ruck.
Yeah,
and
if you don't think that hit on Abdul Carter made Aaron Glenn and staff lose their goddamn minds, that's what they're looking for, right? Because if you have a tight end who can line up there, and when you want to do a toss, you want to do a stretch, you're going to have that tight end crack down, and you're going to kick that tackle out around him to be leading you around the outside. You don't think they love that their tight end could put a defensive end on his ass? That's how because if you can make that first hit and then get to the second level and then seal the linebacker on top of it, now you're getting a huge gain. So I think that stood out in their eyes, and I think you go Taylor, I think you go Smart, and I think you use Beck in certain packages as a tight end and others as a fullback.
So let me ask you this then. Ruck, is there a possibility that he goes and they get stashed into the practice squad, or is it just been that bad that they're like, you know what, it's done, bro? Like, go somewhere else. Maybe you try to redo your
I forget
whole thing
the rules on that. Maybe Dylan or someone in the chat can help me. I forget the rules. If you are in the league a certain amount of time, are you practice squad eligible? I don't know the rules on that. I honestly don't. So I don't know if he's been in the league for 3 years, if it's just your waivers and a free agent, or if you could be practice squad after that. I know when you sign a guy, you can put him on the practice squad. Okay, 4 vested seasons, Dylan just said. Okay, so he's got 3. So he is eligible. At that point, I think you find a better tight end. If you're cutting the guy and you don't want him a part of the 53, you could probably find another guy out there, right?
So I want to. So you're a Georgia guy, just like me, and this is the one of the tight ends that I wanted so bad, and supposedly he's a cut casualty out in Pittsburgh, and it is Mount Washington, Darnell Washington. Dude, I would love to have this 6'8" massive individual of a person that could run too.
Yeah.
Would love for that. But anyways, that's for later on. I don't want to get into that part of it because that's just me dreaming. Let's stick on the offense. Carter Warren. Is he death piece for us, or do we cut ties?
I thought Warren. It's a toss-up between Warren and Mitchell, right? Who they keep. They got Chimu. I know Okorafor. I think that's how Dylan taught me how to say the name. I still like Chimu. I think it's better. He's going to be your tackle, even though on the depth chart, he's your third tackle. I think AVT is tackle 3, come an injury. So Chimu gives you your 4th. Are you keeping a 5th? Are you going to go Mitchell and Warren, or are you going to get rid of both of them? I don't think the season's going very well if either of them have to play outside of maybe lining up for extra points or field goals. But I am I think they're gone. I think that early on you saw this offensive line wasn't good enough. They draft Membu, they bring in Chimu, and now I think the writing's on the wall. I would get rid of both Mitchell and Warren because I like to play roster gymnastics. And when you have that positional flexibility of AVT can be tackle 3, you now have him as a 4th. So that would be me. I would get rid of both. I'd be surprised if Mitchell and Warren. I don't think there's any scenario where Mitchell and Warren both make it outside of an injury tonight to somebody.
Well, if you had to cut one of them, Mitchell or Warren, which one are you getting rid of?
Ooh.
I said Mitchell early on in training camp. I had Clemens, Gibson, and Mitchell as 3 Jets who I would cut, who've been there.
Right.
But from what I've seen, it looks like they value Mitchell a little more. I think Mitchell's played a little more at left tackle. Warren's been at right. So maybe Mitchell stays. I'm projecting that they get rid of Warren and they keep Mitchell.
Now, one of the real ones, looks like it's a fan favorite right now, and we're gonna get into this one, running back room. I'm under the belief, and I believe that we are going to run with 4 running backs. If I'm being 100% honest with you.
Okay.
So this leads me to this question: the kid out of Michigan, Donovan Edwards.
Love him.
Is he gonna be cut, or is he making the actual 53? And if he does, how do you really believe to utilize him?
See, this is where the roster gymnastics pay off, right? Because you're keeping a fullback. Beck's a fullback. So essentially you're going to have 5 running backs, right? Like, I know a fullback's not the runner, but in the backfield, most teams only have 3. So you're going to have to figure out a way. If you think Donovan Edwards is a guy with Breece Hall being in the final year of his contract, is this a guy long-term that we can risk putting out there? Or can we find someone else like him down the road? I like that he's big and physical like Braylon Allen. To me, it's the identity that this team wants, right? I'm not alone. I think everyone believes that. They want to run power football. Donovan Edwards can run power football. Braylon Allen excels at power football. Breece, he's more of a pass catcher, right, for this offense, so what we've seen so far. So if you keep 2 tight ends and use Beck as a 3rd tight end and your fullback, you essentially can keep another running back. And that's also with Nguanu as a returner.
So that leads me right. Look at that.
That was my next. Right.
Yep,
I was
that exactly leads it right into that. So then you have him cut, or he makes it.
I don't think anyone else has stood out as a returner, and all signs point towards Corley being out. I have a hard time taking Gibson. I don't know if he's on your list. They asked me, but I have a very hard time taking Gibson. So I think he starts off as default as your kick returner and your gunner, right? Him and Stiggers are going to be your gunners on the punt team. So without Irv Charles, you need two good gunners, and those are the two guys they've been using. Now, when we punt tonight, who's out there? If they're not out there, those are your guys, and they don't want to risk losing them. If they're playing them, and then you got to question it, right? But if you have Clark and I don't know, pick another name. But if you have two guys out there that aren't Stiggers and Niguana, those are your guys. They're on the team.
I know at the last practice, Donovan Edwards was taking punts, like
he was
like every punt.
Yeah, at the Giants practice I was at too. He was there. He was doing it.
Yeah, he was doing it there. So I don't know. Is there stuff that do you think they're doing stuff that they're not showing the public? They got to be doing stuff that they're not showing the public, right? They even had that closed practice, so there's got to be stuff that
there's yeah. You know, the game plan is very vanilla, and the media is very restricted on what they can share and what they see. So when the fans are there, I think they scale it back a bit, and when the fans aren't there, that's when they really start to open. Because you'll see, like, say a big play happens, Connor Hughes or Samini, somebody will tweet, "This is a play the Jets have worked on extensively in preseason. We were there, we saw it." You know, they can't give you every detail, right? It's competitive advantage. It's the NFL doesn't want you having all that exposure to what you're doing. But I think we're going to see a lot of innovation on this offense. I think we're going to see stuff we haven't seen before. I think we're going to see a lot of creativity. I think we're going to see modern day football. And I think we're going to see a scheme where a lot of guys get open all the time. Ken Fields, get the ball there. We watched last year a lot of film breakdown on all the YouTube shows, right? Ton of Jet content creators. Everyone saw it. Wilson was open a lot downfield last year. Quarterback didn't get him the ball. Can Fields be the guy to get Wilson the ball downfield? If Wilson's getting the ball downfield, we're going to be an explosive offense. That opens everything else up.
Agreed 100%. I think it's one of the biggest things for myself, what I wanted to see, and Clancy breaks my balls about it, right? But
he does that.
He does that.
He loves balls.
He does. But seeing a tight end screen, something that we have not seen in forever.
For multiple reasons, too, John.
True.
They didn't have the coordinator and didn't have the tight end to run it. And we run it with our third or fourth tight end. It was a 25-yarder.
True. But that's what I mean, seeing that. Or the messed up play that they were trying to give it to Wilson. They were trying to do a wide receiver screen. Again, the timing wasn't there because the snap was bobbled, the whole nine. It was bad. Whatever. Yeah. Anybody that's played it knows that's all about timing.
Yep. Then
they try to do it to the running back in Breece Hall. But you had what's his name come in and blast you, and you've been saying it. You were saying it that Membu was getting worked by Thibodeau.
Thibodeau got him in the one-on-one, and Burns cooked them all practice. Like it was child abuse. It was bad.
So it's the same thing. Is he a rookie and that's the reasoning? Probably, right? But I'd rather him get it out of the way now than when it actually starts to count. We're ready, rocked and loaded to go for the season.
Yeah. Don't forget, Membu's an old school right tackle, John.
Exactly.
And Membu is a run blocking tackle who needs to get coached up and develop as a pass blocker. That's how the NFL used to be. You have your pass protector on the left side, your nasty run guy on the right side, and the Jets are bringing back that old school football. So if Membu is an 8 right now as a pass block or as a run blocker, he's like a 2 as a pass blocker. Run, he's an 8. Pass, he's a 2. If you can get him to a 5 or 6 as a pass blocker and then develop him into a 10, you're looking at an all-pro type of tackle because you've seen already there's been an effort by Engstrand and Glenn to run to that side of the ball. They have run between the A gap, the B gap, and even a little bit outside and a little bit of stretch to Membu's side of the ball. Him, AVT, and Tittman have been cooking together in the run game, and hopefully it carries on to the regular season.
100%, and it's you're seeing the holes being open, and they're huge holes, and they held up pretty well against that what everybody's saying that defensive line for the Giants, it's going to be nasty this upcoming year. I was like, holy shit, like I think we're going to be really well. And just like you were saying a little bit about it earlier, Nick, I've been saying it for a while. I think we're going to see something in this offense that we have not seen in a very, very long time. And I'm really excited about it. So that goes into the wide receiver conversation. And I'm going to throw these names out there. Malachi, Lazard,
Pup.
and then that's really it, right? Like what other?
Corley's gone. I don't know if you guys saw reports coming out. Connor Hughes, there's a story going to be coming out that I'm privy to find out ahead of time. There's a story coming out about how Corley refused to carry pads last year. There's there was a couple of things. Connor tweeted out that Devontae offered him $20,000 for the number 17, and then Corley counter offered and ended up getting $117,000. So he said he's not a running back. There's so many red flags. The full story should be out this weekend after the game, if not cut day. But there's a lot of the previous coaching staff hated him. They didn't get why he was coming in there like he was king of the world. You know, you were the Yak King in college in a small ass division. Like, what the fuck did you do in the NFL? You know, Olu Fashanu is number 10 overall pick, and he's carrying pads as a rookie, and you think that's beneath you?
I'm going to tell you, me being I was at practice, the last practice, me being a teacher, right? Like, you learn to observe the group, and then you can pick out, like, first day, right? Doesn't matter. I go into a classroom, I can see who the hood, you know, like the hoodwinks are going to be, like the nudges, right? And he's a nudge. Like, you can just watch practice, and you can see they're running wide receiver drills 2 minutes before the drill is over. His helmet is off, and he is just dancing on the sidelines. I was like, the hell is this? Everyone, vets are working, and he's like off, and he's doing something else. So he either he sees the writing on the wall, and he knows that he's gone, or he's just on another planet. Like he's on. I think he's on another planet. To be completely honest.
That's
like
a guy that you're going to see play a lot of minutes tonight, in my opinion, where you try to get a 6th or a 7th back from. Maybe you just full showcase him. You get him the ball. You run the jet sweep with him. You run things to maybe get San Francisco or Philly or somebody to say, hey, the trade we made, right? We'll give you a 6th. You give us a 7th and the player, and then you get one of your 6s back, right? Good if luck. You can get anything for him, for a guy who has 0 catches in the NFL, that's a win.
Yeah. And God bless the team that takes him.
Yeah. But for me, if you're trying to ask and finish up the wide receiver room, it's Wilson, it's Reynolds, it's both Smiths, in my opinion, and then it's Johnson. Now, do you keep an extra guy for special teams? Does Skinner get in there? Does Gibson get in there? You know, you don't have Irv Charles. The Jets in the past have kept 6 with Irv Charles being the 6th guy and would occasionally get some wide receiver reps, but he's primarily a special teamer. So I'm very curious how this breaks down and how they construct the weapons because, you know, I say that with Lazard being pup to start. I missed that part if anyone missed it earlier. I would put Lazard on the pup with the shoulder and go from there. And then I would get rid of him. If Brandon Smith can block, why do you need Lazard? You got a guy with better hands who's big and can block. If he takes that initiative to block and become an elite blocker and want to perfect that craft, you have 0 reason to have Lazard on this roster. Let him take the bus with Pittsburgh after the game. Let him leave with Pitt on the bus. I don't care. Let him sit there and sing Kumbaya with Rodgers as they go to Newark Airport with an L.
The Corley one for me, it's a tough one because I was really high on him. You guys all know that. And I kept saying I thought it was the coaching. I thought it was the coaching. But at some point, you do have to say the player because all you kept hearing is the kid has some motivational issues. And now these reports are coming out that are going to be coming out soon about him. It's like, who would want to pick him up after all of this?
Mm-hmm.
You're in a team that is needing wide receivers and you can't make it. Crazy to me. So, you know.
And if they can keep that Skinner kid, smart on them, because that kid's a student of the game.
Yeah. When you want to build a wide receiver room, right? I've always been a big proponent of, you don't need, like, if I'm building a team and I have Calvin Johnson, I don't need to go get Terrell Owens because they're too similar. I want an Antonio Brown. Like, of course, I'm picking the top names, right? But Corbett, Keyshawn, they do nothing the same, right? Mm-hmm. I want guys that complement one another. Look at New England. All the Super Bowls that they won is with no-name wide receiver corps, you know? And you need guys that fit what you want to do. And sometimes the biggest name doesn't fit what you need that person to do in the scheme. Maybe Josh Reynolds has the best year, right? Because they know how to utilize them and they know how to get them open. Maybe someone like Skinner with that size is a great red zone threat. We saw it last week, right? So I'm very curious on how they put this together, because Gibson doesn't wow me at all, right? Like, I'm just, ever since the punt return, it's been like, oh man, you're just here because nobody else is here.
Exactly.
Arian Smith, they have a role for him. They have a purpose. Brendan Smith, they have a role for him. They have a purpose. Something to keep an eye out for tonight. Forget the score. Fuck the score. Who cares? None of these guys are going to settle a game in the regular season, right?
Exactly.
Look on who's out of the game first. Look at who's being showcased. Those are the things you watch. You watch the rotations. You watch, all right, you made a nice play. Get out, bro. We're good. You're good. You're on. You'll see, right? The camera will show Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn will shake the guy's hand. You read his lips. Do you see it? You're good. You're good. You know what I mean? Are they giving tells tonight on what the roster is going to be?
100% agreed. And that's the reason why I love the preseason, especially the last game. It's for that piece that you just said right there, is to be able to see who is the guy that they take out, and you're like, all right, they took him out early. He's probably going to be on the squad itself.
Yeah.
But
like, remember Kenny Yeboah catching a Hail Mary to win a game? Yeboah never played.
Oh man, don't let Green Bean.
I know.
See that.
Hell of a practice squad guy, though.
Yeah.
Hell of a guy.
The best. So let's get into it. The defense. Let's do it. All right. One of the ones that I've been wanting to get out of here for a while. Does it finally happen? Michael Clemens. I'm going to start off with him from the jump.
No. As much as I want it, no. I mean, even one of the assistants spoke about it the other day, right? They even brought him up. I think the lack of depth, and even though he's horrible, it just shows how weak the rest of the room is. Now, I think you have to do at defensive end what you did at defensive tackle. You'd have to acquire two guys to bump him. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's happening.
No. Agreed 100% on that. A person that I wanted, and a lot of people were like, oh, it's too rich for it or anything, but he would have been like a perfect locker room guy, whatever. I wanted Trey from Cincinnati. Yeah. Trey, I can't ever pronounce his last name.
Tremendous talent. But you got to remember where we're at. We're in the beginning of a build. You know, you make a move like that, like people who want McLaurin. You're going to trade for McLaurin, give up a premium draft pick, bring in a guy, give him a second wide receiver, $30 million plus a year in a run-first offense. Like, it's not Madden. Like, you got to figure these things out. He's 29. He doesn't fit the mold of what we're doing, right? So you got to apply logic to it. And I think fans are too emotional. Fans have been here for 15 years. Fans have been made fun of. Fans have had the letdown of missing playoffs year after year, after decade, after half a decade. Muji and Glenn are months into this job.
Correct.
They don't give a damn about the past. They're worried about today, tomorrow, and the future. So the past doesn't exist to them, right? Well, technically Glenn it does because he was here, but that's 31 years ago, right? But you got to look at it and realize, when you try to do things too quickly, the Daniel Snyder Washington Redskins back in the day, let's buy Albert Hainsworth for $100 million. Let's bring all these guys in, and never sniff the playoffs. And then there's teams like the Ravens, the Steelers, the Seahawks for many years, the 49ers, the Packers, now the Eagles, the Bills. We're going to draft right. We're going to build this the right way from within, and then we're going to bring in a final piece. We're going to go get a Von Miller, even though he kept getting hurt up in Buffalo. We're going to sprinkle the final touches on this team. A move like Hendrickson would be the final touch to a Super Bowl run. We're not there.
Agreed 100%. And you're right. The fan in me would want him in there, but the logical side of it, it can't be done.
Yeah.
He's 30. The money's going to be, we're not at that point right now where we could be like, dude, if we put him in, we get in over the hump and we're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's no sense. By the time we're ready to get to the hump, he's past his prime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're looking for guys right now that they can coach up and get into their prime.
Nick, how are you on time?
I'll hang for a bit. I moved my show back to 7:15 for you guys, so we're having fun. So I'll hang.
Okay.
So
I love you. You're my homeboys.
Hell yeah, I love you
You're
too,
my
man.
homeboy.
DT,
Yeah,
another one.
Yeah, you're my homeboy.
So this one it's a close one for me too. He has the Virginia ties, Virginia Beach ties at that too. Is Derek Nandi? Is he here or is he cut?
He's gone.
Okay.
He's gone. They might give him the respect tonight of giving him off as a veteran, but that doesn't mean he might just say, listen, I know I'm not going to make the team. I see the writing on the wall. You know, can we not risk me tonight if you know, I'm still trying to play in the league? You know, maybe you have that conversation privately with Glenn, but I don't think him not playing would say he's on the team. That's one of the rare exceptions, right? Like, you give him a veteran's courtesy. There's no reason for a veteran to be out there in a game like this, you know, where he can risk an injury for the year. You just say, hey, listen, I know you're going to get rid of me. Maybe try to trade me. If it doesn't work out, can I just be a free agent? I don't want to risk my season in when I know I'm not making your team.
100%. I had high hopes for him, and it just fizzled. Right, like we haven't.
Well, we've needed a run stopper so bad. We'll take anyone, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, can you do like? Can we have a quarterback? We'll take anybody and try to convince ourselves it's the guy, Zach Wilson. We'll try to convince ourselves that guy can become the guy that we need because we've been punished for so long. We used to be dominant in the run. Chris Jenkins, Sione Buha, you know, Snacks Harrison. We used to own the middle of the defense, you know, and the middle of we used to dominate. Chris Jenkins would throw the guard and center back into the running back and then take the running back and slam his ass to the ground. Now we're getting slammed back and they're falling forward 6-7 yards on what should have been a no gain.
Yeah, but this is the type of regime that would offer that courtesy to Nandi. Yeah. They'll do that.
It's a tough one. I'm gonna make another one that's gonna be a tough one. Just to kind of round up the DTs. And it's the guy that I hope makes it. I want him there. He's been doing everything he needs to do to be able to be on the team. Is LT3. The talent's there. Does he make the cut? Or is he cut?
I want him to make it for several reasons. This is one of the guys that like I'm, and I try not to do this, but this is one of the guys like I'm emotionally attached to. I like the kid. He got a bad rap coming out of college with his mindset, right, and his approach to the game and life. And he's done all the right things here. He made it last year. Not many of our defensive tackles outside of Quinnen can still rush the passer. There's a need for that. You can't have all guys who stop the run, right? Now it's flipped a little bit. Now you're looking at it, all right, we need a guy who can probably get in there. And if they run a turbo package, right, you want someone with LT3 and Quinnen's first step out there. And then, you know, JJ and Will on the outside. Is that Tufele over Leonard Taylor? They brought Tufele in. You know, you still got Cowart. You got Quinnen, Cowart, Phillips, and Briggs, who are locked, in my opinion, those four.
Agreed.
Who's five? Is it JT or is it LT? Leonard Taylor III tweeted out today. I shared it in the Discord. It's in God's hands now. Does that mean he knows something? Does he know, hey, we're going to play you a bunch tonight? Did they say to Tufele, we're not going to play you? And then he knows I'm done from here. Is that a tell with that tweet?
It's a tough choice.
That's a tough one, man. That's one of those that it's like,
just be right. That's all I want. Just be right. I don't give a shit
exactly.
who it is, really. I want the Jets to be right. I'm so tired of the Jets being wrong. I don't care if Nick Shine is right. I don't care if any content creator is right. I need the Jets. We should all agree on this. We need the Jets to be right. That's why I don't do a 53-man roster, because it doesn't matter what I think about the last 4 or 5 players. It matters what the Jets think about it.
And the big fella makes it really good. And this was actually, the big fella's right on here with me right now as well. So he asked, is Coward a lock after those trades, though?
I mean, they brought him in all of camp before he got that injury. Like OTAs, he was lining up with Quinnen as DT1. Now, first downs are primarily rundowns, right? Do you bring in Phillips or Briggs there? Did Coward just fall out of favor, not being healthy? Do you let Coward? Here's one. How about JT and LT both make it and Coward's the man out? If Coward's on the pup, you find a home for both of them to start, and maybe they play so well that you just let Coward go down the road. So the pup plays a major, major part of this, right? Irv Charles, possibly Lazard, possibly Coward. All of these guys could open up other roster spots for guys that we have on the fence.
All right. So that rounds up that. Somebody that I haven't really heard about a lot, and I wanted to bring his name up. What are we going to do with him? Right. I think it's just, we've got so much at this position now. And this guy, he showed some glimpse, but that's all it was. Then he would get injured. It's a corner, and it's JBC, Gerard Bernard Converse.
I don't see him making it.
Right? Exactly.
I don't see him making it because you're going Sauce, Carter, Stevens, AZ Thomas, Stiggers. And then at safety, you got, I think Clark makes it above him. I think Clark, Moore, Cisco, and Adams are your 4 safeties.
So that goes to
and
the
then
next one.
I'm going to keep Oliver. I think
Isaiah.
Oliver is that combo guy because Oliver's the only other guy who really has experience covering in the slot. You don't want Stiggers or AZ Thomas in the slot if something happens to Carter. Oliver is that guy. So maybe that even bumps Oliver above Clark. But if you keep a 10th corner or safety, if you take a 10th member of the secondary, I want Oliver because he's a tweener. He can cover a tight end. He can cover a running back out of the flat. He can cover a slot receiver if something were to happen to Carter. I don't know if we get that anywhere else. I don't want Tony Adams in that role.
100%. I was, Nick, you beat me to it because I was getting ready to go into that with the safeties and with Oliver, which is another person that's not being talked about as well. It's always everything that you and I keep hearing about is everything else, right? It's more of the wide receiving stuff and all that. But I think the strength of this team is the defense. And I really believe that. I really, truly, truly believe that. So edge, and I'm gonna just say the 3 names up here that I have in Barron, Watts, and McGregor. Do any of those 3 make it, or are they all cut?
Well, Weaver just got put on season ending.
Mm-hmm.
So Weaver's out of the mix. So right now, the only 3 definitives are Clemens, JJ, and Will.
Correct.
I think Barron, you can get to the practice squad because he hasn't really shown much yet. I think you practice squad Barron. And if you need bigger guys for like run situations, right? We know JJ can play run defense, but he's not out there all the time. So I think whoever they think can play the run better makes it. And
Agreed.
I would go 4 ends, 5 tackles. Because with special teams, you're going to have to keep probably 5 linebackers, right? You need linebackers on specials. So that's
it's a tough one to when you start to really start to break everything together and to be able to put them there. That's why I don't know how people make a 53, because I could easily go back and say no, because this guy could fit potentially this.
Yeah.
It goes
and
insane.
It's the first season of these guys, right? Like, as much as we know they want to run the ball down their throat, we don't know the true identity of everything because we don't know the schemes yet. As the games start getting played and we see what they're doing schematically throughout the game, tells us the type of players down the road that they could potentially draft or sign in free agency because we know the skill sets that they're looking for.
100%.
Yeah. Those people who are versatile, those players who have versatility, have such an edge. With this regime.
Nice pun with the edge for the edge rusher. I like that.
Thank you.
Well done.
I try my best.
Wordsmith.
I'll also throw in that if you're watching right now, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well, even if you're not live and this is after the fact.
100%.
Johnny, where are we going now?
The last one.
If I could do something real quick.
Yeah.
Yes.
John B asked, and shout out to Dylan. Dylan sent me this. So the practice squad, you get 16 players plus 1 international player, and I think we're going to keep that German tight end. The max is 10 with 0 or 2 accrued years. Then you have the max of 6 with 3+ accrued years, and they count against the team salary cap. So that's why you see a lot of these guys who are undrafted get put on there. It's almost like a taxi squad. You want to minimize what you have there, and that's a great way to do it. You're not going to put a guy on a practice squad who makes $5 million a year, right? You're either going to keep him or you're going to cut him to guarantee the salary, and that's where Nadi comes in. You can't, do that.
So then let's end it. The linebackers after, of course, Quincy and Sherwood. What are we going to do with Barnes? Is Barnes one of the guys you think that gets cut? What about the kid out of Miami that we were expecting him to potentially be a death piece for us itself as well? Do you see anything with these guys that are there as linebackers, or are they cut as well and stashed into the practice squad?
I think Davis is there. Maui Agua, I think, is there. If I'm saying that right, these guys, can we just draft guys with Smith? I'll take 53 Smiths on the team. So much easier. But I get it. It's a worldwide game now, man. Everyone's got different names. I get that.
Maui Goa.
Give me Maui Oa.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I think Barnes is a good special teamer, right? He was there last year. So it's a guy on a cheap contract, his first contract. These are guys that you look to do the Jamie and Sherwood with. Special teamer, coach you up, or we don't. In 3-4 years, we can shuffle you out, bring in another guy, and maybe they already brought that guy in with Maui Noah. Thank you, ISU. So, listen, guys develop or they get shipped off, right?
100%. Well, that is the entire list that I had. Nick destroyed it, went right through it, and I cannot wait for tonight's game to see what's going to happen on there. And with that being said, I heard that you're doing a show right after this.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna try to get on at 7:15 and do a game stream, watch along. So if you guys are free, which I hope you are, come on by. It'll be fun. And I got a couple guests coming on throughout the night, so a couple surprises. I like to with the game stream. Dylan can't make it tonight, so got a couple of people coming on.
How dare Dylan?
Yeah, him with his life, and he's still here. He can't make the show, but he's in the chat the whole time.
Right,
jerk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nick, before you go, what I want to get your take.
Yeah.
With the current state of where we are with the team and this new regime, do you like what is happening, or do you think we're falling short in some respects with coaching or decision making? Like, are you completely satisfied so far?
Without having a quarterback, I think you're seeing what they want to build. And it's two ways. Fields is the guy, build around him, or you do something the New York Jets haven't done. You draft a young quarterback. They haven't done since Pennington. Draft a young quarterback, bring him into a team ready to compete and ready to play. We brought in Darnold. We brought in Zach. We brought in Geno. Sanchez got brought in. The offensive line was built, right? But Pennington was a guy who sat and learned and then came in and hit the ground running. No pun intended with Justin Fields being our quarterback. But when I look at it, I think Fields should start next year, and then you give the reins over, right? I'm a big believer in Darnold and Wilson. The expectations were so high because where they were drafted, and they were expected to change the franchise. I want to bring in a young quarterback like Pennington. Bring him in with hope. We're 1-4 when we brought him in. Yeah, then they won the first game. They went to 2-5 and ended up 9-7. But bring him in as the savior. Don't bring him in. Oh, you ruined him again. The Jets don't know how to do it. I don't want to hear all that shit. I hate Twitter. I hate sports talk radio shows. YouTube clones are great, though. Support the channel. But when I look at it, how do you build a young quarterback? You have Fields. You gave him that second year for a reason. And I think that's the Jets' plan. I believe the plan is play Fields. Antoine Staley tweeting right now, Armand Membu is in uniform for tonight. So interesting. So
good.
Yeah, he needs to work. You know,
sure.
But when I look at how do you develop a young quarterback, bring him in with an offensive line. Check. We have that. Bring him in with a young tight end. Check. We have that. Bring him in with a good running game. Check. We're going to have that. Bring him in with a superstar wide receiver. Check. We have that. Now, if you lose Simpson or EBT, you replenish a guard. It's much easier to get a guard in round 3 or 4, right? You get one of these big guys from LSU or the Big Ten or the SEC or the Big Ten, throw them in, and it's like they've been bred for this since they were 8 because they were eating steak and cornbread and flipping cows over for fun when they were 10 years old. So go get another receiver or two. Build around this kid. And let's get to a modern-day NFL offense. So I like where we're at. I think the defense is going to be much better. And I think that now you saw Muji did what good general managers do. Identify a weakness, address the weakness. What was the weakness? Oh, it doesn't look like we're good at defensive tackle. Okay, I'm going to go get 2 dudes. You know, if we can't get open, all right, maybe he goes and makes a move for a receiver. And that's my prediction. I will leave you guys with that. The New York Jets will add a wide receiver. It might not be a big name, but it might be somebody that fits their plan, their identity, and fits the role that they need in the passing attack.
Yeah, they need that short to mid-range guy.
I wouldn't mind Gabe. I wouldn't mind a Gabe Davis. He's still out there. Why not? What's he really going to cost us to potentially bring a caliber of a player like that on over here? But
remember what I always say, though. Players got to want here, too, right?
True.
You know, it's not just Madden where you just make the big offer and get the guy. And Gabe Davis might not fit what we want to do schematically.
Yeah.
Well, Nick, this was awesome. We knew you were going to kill it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate having me on. Sorry it's been so long. And hopefully.
Nah, man, dude, you
okay.
work, man. I mean,
not the last time either.
Nah, not the last time. You've always been a supporter of the show itself, constantly. So we appreciate you coming on. I put the link. I've been blasting it in the comment section, everybody. Please go over there. He is having a show right after this. Go, and you guys will see exactly what we're talking about, that we love being able to do that.
Thank you.
Now, Nick, you're the man.
See you guys in a bit. Thank you for having me. Go Jets.
Fun being the opening act. All right.
Coffee refill and wardrobe change. Oh, what am I going to be wearing? Ooh. That's a tease. Stay tuned. Or not stay tuned. Go to my channel.
I hope it's naked.
Hit the like button. Support these guys. Good stuff going on. Ladies and gentlemen.
Jets. Let's go. Later, Nick.
See ya. I really hope that he wears a bikini. I love him in a bikini.
A Jets worldwide bikini?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Right? I would like that. Also available, at the jetsworldwide.printify.me. Check it out. You can buy a bikini if you want. I love having Nick on. That was a great idea, bringing him in. I love this, from us to him type of a deal. I liked it a lot. I think we hit on a lot of good points tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what the Muji man does with the advice of Aaron Glenn.
Let me ask you, Snowball. What are you looking for tonight?
What am I looking for tonight? I really want to watch the defense. I'm really interested in, like we were talking about, who's out there, who gets the pat on the rear end quick and like, all right, out you go. What great job. See you later. I really am interested in the corners. I'm interested in watching. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in the safeties also. Yeah. Really, those are the two position groups that I'm really going to watch the whole damn game, to be honest. Like I really want to watch that. I think there's a lot of sliding around, and linebacker. There's a lot of sliding around in the backfield. That's very interesting. We just brought those two guys in for the line. So like you kind of have a feeling of what's going to happen, but it's behind the line that where all the gymnastics is happening for me, apparently. But I promised the wife that we would be done by 7,
and we're done.
I didn't hold true to that, but she did order some food, and I heard the door open. So I'm a hungry guy right now, and I think I'm ready to start eating. Just
watch
so that
the game.
Start watching the game.
Hell yeah!
If you are here and you have not hit the like button, please, if you're on your phone, stop, click the X next to the chat, make the chat go away, click on the like button, say, all right, Snowball, thank you. I will hit the like button. Only hit it once though, because if you hit it twice, it goes away. And then if you have not subscribed to the channel, we are 2 men on a mission to just keep gaining subscribers. Whether you agree or disagree with what we have to say, or the people who we bring on, or the clips that we show, or whatever it is that we've been providing for you this evening, subscribe, because it's always an adventure. Every week you come back, there's something different. We are trying to do, myself and Johnny Boy, we are trying to do different things throughout the year. We may do the match game. We may do the wheel of misfortune. We may bring on guests. We might do alter ego. We have such a mixed bag of things that we do for this channel. There's always something new to watch. So we are the creative duo of Johnny Boy and Snowball, and we try to bring you some entertainment before the game, after the game, in between the games. Whatever you want, we're here. So that's all I have to say. And I'm done.
And with that being said, it's Friday night. Jets football is on. And you guys have watched Jets
World Wide. Go Jets. 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 We're going to get a team Tuesday.
And we're out.
Bye.
Yeah. We started off as Titans, and now we're the Jets. The start of every season always starts with the sweats. Vinny T, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, what's the deal? Don't even try to tell me that the curse ain't real. We're coming for you, run, nothing high. Snowballing Johnny Boy, it's Jets worldwide. Why? Yeah, like and subscribe. But fumble, fail, Mary, choking Fitzpatrick. The end of every season is always tragic. Doug Bryant missed, everybody got pissed. Super Bowl seasons ended with just one twist. 15 years without the playoffs. Is Aaron Glenn legit? We're the friggin' New York Jets, and we're built for the shit. We're coming for you, real and high. Snowball.